thing like this. And I'm walking like this. One lady was laughing so hard, I had to stop my demonstration. I said, "Are you okay?" And she goes, "No." She goes, "Well, they actually look better than mine." Now, I got a whole set of these when I got married back in the 70s. Yeah, me and my late husband. Look familiar? All right, here's why. It's that thin stainless steel. You have to really crank it up on high to get anything to cook in it, and everything sticks to it. It's harder heck to get clean. Now, this used to be my Teflon pot. Used to be. Yeah, isn't that bad? Who thinks Tefloff would have been a much better name than Teflon? Now, hopefully y'all have been watching the news and reading the papers because there are concerns about the coatings. Has everybody heard about that? The fumes from these are toxic. It'll kill your pet birds. And unfortunately, we learned that the hard way in our house. Yep. 3 rules, okay? Cook on cook on that coated cookware. Number 1, never take them over medium heat. Number 2, never heat them up unless you have food in them. And number 3, the minute you get one scratch, where's it going to go, everybody? Yeah, get a new one. Be safe. Documented links with cancer, okay? Now here's Grandma's 2-season pea pot. Yeah, in the summer it was on the stove with the fresh garden peas in it. In the winter you could always find it underneath her bed. So she oh, timer. Time for me to turn the chicken. Don't want you to miss this. Let me get my spatula here. Okay, on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There. I turned my chicken. Yeah, if you're cooking with grease, you have to use one of these, right, to flip your food over. Otherwise, it's not going to cook all the way through. Who here has ever burned themselves with splattering grease before? Scars to prove it, right? There's no grease in here. Now, for those of you that missed it, everybody please look up here. What we have between layers of surgical stainless steel is 2½ cups of a special liquid permanently sealed on the inside. Now, does everybody see that red line right there? That's a cast iron skillet. And that holds the heat really good. Yeah, absolutely, for holding the heat. And you know what that does is it creates a Dutch oven. Okay, so your food's going to cook all the way through. Who likes it crispy on both sides? Then go ahead and flip it, but you don't have to. How many like that idea of not having to babysit dinner? We're all too busy. Okay? Now, aluminum. Has anybody heard the concerns about aluminum as well? They're about, yeah, Alzheimer's, and there's about 4 other ones. There's concerns, you know, that aluminum may play a role. They don't know for sure, okay? They're still doing the research. But in the meantime, everybody's been asking me, how in the world does aluminum get into our bodies? That's a great question. Everybody, please, when you get home today, read the labels of your antacids and also your antiperspirants. Most of those have aluminum listed as the #1 ingredient. That's why I stopped using antiperspirants. It's now been about 12, 13 years, okay? I do use deodorant, just not antiperspirants, and especially for women, okay? That's very important. Now, this is an experiment. Do this at home. This is just a piece of a Scotch-Brite pad. Now, do you ever notice when you start using your aluminum pots, they start off really nice and bright and shiny like that? After you cook in them a while, there's a coating that develops on the inside because it oxidizes. And that coating is going to stay there until you cook tomato sauce, applesauce, rhubarb, anything with what, everybody? Acids. And then all of a sudden, it's nice and bright and shiny again. Well, it just makes sense that when we do cook with aluminum, we end up eating part of the pan. When I was a kid, my grandma was always yelling at me not to use her good towels to wipe up her cookware because the aluminum would not come out. Remember that? Of the towels? Well, if we can't get it out of our towels, how in the world can we ever expect to get it out of our bodies? Now, don't get me wrong. People do like aluminum because it spreads the heat really quick. That's why most restaurants use aluminum cookware. Personally, I just don't want the aluminum touching my food. Okay, now, Connie, here's your favorite. Yeah, my father-in-law's favorite pan. He called it his man's pan. And when he first got it, he seasoned it. Put lots of oil in there and he stuck it in the oven to cure it. After he got done cooking with it, the only way he cleaned it was just to wipe it out with a paper towel, and then he added more oil to it. And you know what? If you're using this every once in a while, that's really no big deal. But he cooked on this pan every single day. And here's what happens. It's a porous metal. And that oil gets trapped in there. How many of you know oil spoils? Goes rancid, right? Bacteria grows. You heat it up, the pores open up, and where's all that bacteria going to go? Now, he made us hamburgers one day, and I actually thought it tasted, just, what's that? Yeah, just to show you that stuff, yeah, it's still coming out of there, yeah. Yeah, that stuff is right in there. Pores open up, that bacteria goes right into the food. Now, if you know somebody that has stomach problems, please encourage them to put their cast iron skillet aside for just about a month. You never know. You know, it might help them. And how many of you have heard of the 5-second rule? Food on the floor, fair game. You know what? I figure that's fine, because I have a feeling the floors in our homes are probably a lot cleaner, okay, than most cast iron skillets. But we all love these, because they hold the heat so good, right? Okay, so here's what we did. We have the most ingenious engineers at KitchenCraft. How many of you have heard of surgical stainless steel before? T304. It's non-porous. You can get it bacteria-free. So we took 2 layers of that wonderful metal, and then between those 2 layers, that's where we put the cast iron skillet, so that it's right into the middle of our cookware. What a great idea. Then we have 3 layers of aluminum, spreads the heat really quick, and then 1 more layer, a 3rd layer of T304. So the last surface to touch your food before it goes on the table and into the bodies of your loved ones, non-porous, surgical stainless steel. So we've all tried the rest, you know, over and over and over again. And folks, let me introduce you to the best. This is KitchenCraft, the original waterless cookware. It just makes sense. Honey, we'll start with you. We'll go this way. We'll pass it around. Everybody gets a chance to see it. While you all are looking at that, I'm going to get our vegetables. I'm going to feed you. Oh, before I forget, our cookware can go in the oven. Okay, it is oven safe. Handles and knobs are fine up to 350 degrees. Just preheat the oven first. And it's also dishwasher safe. How many of you like that idea as well? And as you're looking at my skillet there, if it looks and it feels and it sounds expensive, that's because it is. Yeah, you knew that was coming. Sure. If we want cheap cookware, where does everybody go? Yeah. Now, how many of us have found out in life the hard way that you get what you pay for? Yeah. If you buy the cheaper stuff, you are going to end up buying it over and over and over again. This is like the Snap-on tools out in the garage, because you only have to get it one time. You know, we come to shows like this to get really nice things for our homes and for our families. Who here agrees health really should be one of our top priorities in life? Yeah, faith, family, and health. We don't have our health, we wouldn't be here. Now be careful. I'm going to ask some of you to touch the top and the bottom. This is for adults only. Careful, it is hot. See how the top is as hot as the bottom? That's because of the way that it cooks. It cooks bottom up, sides in, and then over the top. And it's still really warm. That's that cast iron skillet, okay, that's in the middle. See, a lot of folks like to have the glass covers so they can see what's cooking, except the glass does not conduct heat. So you're not getting that nice even heat all the way around. You trust her that she thinks it's hot? Okay. Okay, everybody look up here. This is my favorite part of the show. If you like to look at my vegetables, please give me a big wow. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Wow, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Yum, absolutely. Red is red, yellow is yellow, green is green. Living food and living color for living people. Now watch this. There's your hot pad that's built right in for, isn't that wonderful? Now, somebody comes home and says, honey, is dinner on the table yet? You just say, baby, grab a seat because we're going to eat. All right, let's see how many vegetables we have here. I'm going to turn this over. And I want you to tell me if you think that's enough vegetables for 2 to 3 adults at dinner time. Yeah, most folks tell me they're cooking that many. They're probably using a 2-quart because they're cooking with water. Okay, everybody please look up here. The only water we had came from rinsing the vegetables and the vegetables themselves. And look at the bottom of our saucepan. Imagine at home, okay, with no water, what the bottom would look like. All right, we're going to serve up our corn here. I don't have enough for every single person, so we'll ask loved ones to share. Kevin's going to come up here and help me. Everybody say hi, Kevin.
Hi.
This is my sweetheart. Now, for those of you that miss it, there's no seasonings on any of our food here. If you do want to season your food, that's fine, okay? And by the way, if you want to cook with water, cook with water. If you want to cook with grease, cook with grease. You can cook any way you want to with your waterless cookware.